second half last game, but Alabama was still able to come out with a victory against LSU. Back in the starting five tonight. We'll see what's in store for this top 15 matchup in Starkville.
It is a blackout inside Humphrey Coliseum. There is nothing like an SEC atmosphere, and we got an elite one here tonight.
This is a big-time matchup and a huge opportunity for Mississippi State. It's a team coming off a victory on the road with a top-5 Alabama team on your home court. Major implications and opportunities for both teams tonight.
Mississippi State coming out wearing the home black. It'll be Alabama wearing the road white, and we are getting set to tip it up. And it's Mississippi State winning the tip. Our officials, Pat Adams, Courtney Green, Byron Jarrett. And it's Mississippi State with the ball force. Richard, what are you looking for early on offensively from the Bulldogs?
You have to be able to stop Alabama in their transition offense.
We welcome you live here in Starkville, Mississippi, alongside Richard Hendricks, John Schriffen. Alabama is now on the board. We are just moments into the ball game here. With Alabama, that three-pointer leading at 3-2. It's 4th-ranked Crimson Tide taking on the 14th-ranked Bulldogs. Crimson Tide taking on the 14th-ranked Bulldogs here at Mississippi State. And this is an elite atmosphere tonight.
Absolutely, and a huge opportunity for Mississippi State.
Josh Hubbard with a three, and the crowd already in it here in Starkville. Stevenson three, too strong, and Mississippi State is there on the boards.
Last possession, good news for Mississippi State as Josh Hubbard, who's been struggling shooting.
Watch out now! Two quick threes for Hubbard.
Starting off hot for the Bulldogs.
People had questioned his shooting percentage coming into the game. Three ball all the way, off the mark, tipped around, and it's going to be Mississippi State ball. But Chris Jans, the head coach, said Hubbard can't shoot it like a video game every game.
Well, he has been starting hot tonight with a supreme.
2 minutes into the ball game here at Humphrey Coliseum. Pick and roll action. Hubbard forced to pick up his dribble. Claudell Harris Jr., the senior, leans into Sears, and it's going to be an offensive foul call against Harris Jr. Well, the story for Alabama is in their last game Saturday against LSU, they got the win, but their star, Mark Sears, did not play in the second half.
Well, head coach Nate Oates elected to not play the star guard in the second, but he was able to utilize the depth of this bench to get the victory against LSU. Mark Sears, obviously a big-time competitor, and you'll look to see how he'll respond tonight after the second half in the last game.
We will have much more on that story as this game goes on and how Nate Oates and Mark Sears have moved on. And Nelson with the power slam.
Beautiful dime there by Mark Sears on that pocket pass. And Grant Nelson going up top, lane wide open, and he takes flight.
R.J. Melendez, the senior from Puerto Rico, comes to a stop on 2 feet. It's tangled up with Youngblood. And an offensive rebound and put back for Cam Matthews. That is a huge sign for Mississippi State as he's been in a 4-game slump.
It is, and that's a big matchup to keep your eye on right there. Number 4 for both teams, Cam Matthews and Grant Nelson. Two do-it-all glue-type players. Whoever can win that matchup tonight will be a significant difference maker for each ball club.
Sears looking for help as he picked up his dribble. Shot clock is at 8. Youngblood, 3-ball, too strong, and it's Nelson offensive rebound, tons of pump fakes, and the steal now for Matthews.
A lot of physicality under the boards, and Matthews once again with the hustle play.
Riley Kugler left his first shot short. good flow to this game early on, opening moments.
And this is the type pace that Alabama wants to see, an up and down style.
Riley Coon with the X factor for this squad as Melendez. He'll be fouled as he crashes into the camera's baseline.
Well, this Mississippi State team can get up and down as well, but it's the half-court execution in the game so far that's been productive. That pocket pass from Mark Sears to Nelson. No one in the paint, wide open lane, and Grant Nelson going up top.
Grant Nelson, second leading scorer on this team, leads the team in rebounding, does so much of the work inside for Alabama. As Melendez will get the first free throw to go. So 3 new subs coming in for Alabama. Some fresh bodies coming in. Pretty good start though for Mississippi State, up 10-5 early on.
Well, this is the pace that Mississippi State can now play at as well. You know, Chris Jans has been known for his defensive tenacity and low post play that he's had in recent years. But this roster can get up and down. And they're already starting to push the pace early on in this one.
Well, he told us he definitely has a better offensive team than they had last year. He said he just looks to get a little better shooting percentage as the season goes on.
Well, stylistically, it's different. I think his teams that he's had in the past have been highly effective on the offensive side of the ball. But this time, with more space and getting up and down with the pace, allows the guards to have a little bit more opportunity to create.
Phylon in trouble, finding the big man inside is Surreal. Blocked for the first attempt. Sherrill gets the second one to go. We are in the break zone. Timeout on the floor here at Starkville, Mississippi, as a player is down after the play for Mississippi State. That looks like R.J. Melendez as he reaches for his right ankle. Before we go to break, let's take another look at what happened to Melendez. What do you see here, Richard?
If he's shuffling and sliding, possibly a tweak of the ankle there as Melendez rolled it.
So not a good sight for Mississippi State as Melendez is helped off the floor.
Going deep into the bench and be able to still pull out the game. But this is a situation where he understands that he needs a star player. But when he has that, he's been able to bounce back in previous time.
So Sears, when he had 0 points against Illinois, that's what he did in a bounce back. This will be his bounce back game here today. Nate Oates said they talked it out, and Mark Sears had his 2 best practices going into a game. He said for the entire season, the last 2 days, so he is really excited about how Sears has responded.
This is a high-character kid who's been playing high-level basketball for Alabama, and he understands that he wants everyone's mind to be on the program, and that it's the mentality that you want every player to cheer for each other, because this team, Alabama, has big-time aspirations this season.
Sometimes you got to address the elephant in the room, and Nate Oates is not shying away from any of that, and he said nobody is above this program, including myself. So he said after film on Monday, Mark Sears and the players, they talked to each other and they voiced their concerns, and they are now past it.
Well, it's leadership, and when you have Final Four expectations on this team, you're going to have moments that are rocky. But in this team, you have to understand that you have so many players that you can lean on, and you need everyone going in the same direction.
Phylon with the 3 ball. Mississippi State's lead is cut down to 1.
You see the freshman with Darren Phylon getting his shooting stroke going. He's been struggling a little bit with his shooting ability in SEC play, and a big opportunity for him today.
Hubbard had those 2 threes early on to get Mississippi State started. No shot. The foul is inside. Let's take a look at Chris Jans in his 3rd season as the head coach for Mississippi State. Said 3-point shooting has been the biggest concern, averaging 25% from downtown over the last 4 games, but a good start from deep early on.
Well, he thinks that this team has a lot of room to improve. And obviously, this is a coach who leans on the defensive end. He's been able to change some things with his offense to allow his guards to have more freedom of movement and shoot from the outside. He just knows it's only a matter of time that they can get it going.
This guy is a key, Riley Kugel, the junior from Orlando, Florida. Pick and roll. Murphy, nice pass. gets inside as Sean Jones Jr. finishes it off.
Really good job by Keyshawn Murphy catching that ball on the short roll and making a move on the move and dropping off the dime.
Got a little 2-3 zone here from Mississippi State. Decided to switch things up. Backside, Matthews affected it. But a tip in is good for Sherrill.
Aiden Sherrill's been active. 2 offensive rebound putbacks. Big for a guy coming off the bench to be a contributor.
Sean Murphy trying to find some help. Kugel, jump stop, and hits the long range too.
That's a beautiful job by Roddy Kugel. And he set up that ball screen nicely. Got Phylon out of the picture and pulled up for the mid-range J.
3-point lead for Mississippi State. Sears off the screen, catch and shoot, too strong. And it's pulled down by Harris Jr. Third school for Cordell Harris Jr. And he is making the most of his final opportunity here at Mississippi State. Murphy goes to the other side of the rim for the bucket.
That's the experience of Keyshawn Murphy. He knows he has a younger player on him, but he has the foot speed and the advantage. Turned and faced, took him baseline, and used the rim to protect himself.
Corner 3 ball, gets it to go, plus the foul is Aiden Holloway. This could be a 4-point play for Alabama.
Outstanding possession for Alabama. Mark Sears off the bounce, being creative, finding the shooter, Aiden Holloway, wide open in the corner. Good usage of the screen roll and snakes it. Find Holloway in the corner. He knocks it down, hoop and the harm. Aiden Holloway's been shooting lights out in SEC play. There's the foul. It's a little too much on the contest by Harris Jr.
So Cordell Harris Jr., his second personal foul. As Holloway to the line to try for a 4-point play. He has been a huge spark off the bench for Alabama. What a punch Holloway provides.
Well, high-quality teams, it's no such thing as starters. You have to come into the game locked and loaded and ready. And Aiden Holloway, a former McDonald's All-American and the Auburn transfer, has responded very well in his role coming off the bench.
Nwoko with the sky hook.
That hook was created with deep positioning by Nwoko, getting Grant Nelson deep up under the goal and going over the left shoulder.
Phylon trying to turn the corner, gets the Euro to create space. That was filthy.
It was a high-level move. The deceleration to create the distance between him and the defender. Knocked it down.
Mississippi State shooting 67% from the floor to start this game. Hubbard thought about it, gets some attention. Now the pull-up jumper. And the offensive rebound. Nwoko spinning in the paint. And it's swatted by Grant Nelson. In transition, Holloway. And that one was halfway down.
Mississippi State has started off really well offensively in this game. The flow of the game started off as if Alabama was well behind. As you look up and it's only a 1-point game, they've been able to weather the offensive storm.
BB, look at the speedy. Josh Hubbard. He's got 8 now.
Well, he's an elite level scorer. When he can get it going, he can do it in bunches.
After you hit those first 2 threes, you got to respect that jumper outside. Turning the corner. And a nice move, Clifford Amore, the Rutgers transfer.
Skilled move from Clifford Amore, using his left hand off the bounce.
Back and forth we go. Hubbard. A reach-in foul is called on Phylon. That'll be his first personal. Good start early on for Josh Hubbard at Mississippi State.
Well, Josh Hubbard has looked to seem to find his rhythm again. And the speedy guard is able to turn the corner and find his way all the way to the cup with the beautiful layup. State up early.
Regardless, my daddy told me even when I'm in foreigns, I'm heartless. This is hating on me just because I'm the big.
2 of 7 from the floor. They are 6 of 9 since. And the other big storylines, R.J. Melendez went down holding his right ankle. Claudell Harris Jr. has 2 fouls on the bench. 2 big guards for Mississippi State out of the game.
Significantly a big blow for Melendez with the injury. See if he can get back into action. But Harris Jr., a scorer who can fill it up, would be important to get those 2 guys back on the court for Mississippi State.
Delquan Warren, the freshman from Erie, Pennsylvania, getting some time at the point. As Hubbard with a hand in his face did not get the roll.
Alabama is electing to use their small forwards, Darion Reed, to guard Josh Hubbard, putting a lot more length on the smaller guard.
Darion Reed, his first game since he's missed the last 4 with a lower leg injury. Holloway caught in the air, gives it up. Youngblood pulls it, got it. He had an ankle surgery in the offseason, the transfer from South Florida, and they feel like he is just starting to get that rust off.
Well, this kid was the co-AAC Player of the Year, and he's starting to get into his form, getting his rhythm and his confidence. This is a guy who's known for his leadership skills, but his play is starting to come back to top-level form.
Even though he didn't have his offense, he is a high-level defender. As Alabama keeps possession, 15 on the shot clock. It is blocked by Warren. Here's Hubbard. He's got Grant Nelson on. Let's see what he wants to do with this matchup.
Switching defenses up at Alabama.
And Matthews will get the whistle and get to the free throw line. What is a good sign to see R.J. Melendez return from the locker room. He is back and looking to come into the game. That did not look good when he had to be helped off the floor early on.
It did not. Good to see him back out. He's a difference maker on this team. When he's hitting his shot, you have a major offensive threat, but the versatility that he brings to this team on the offensive and defensive end will be huge for Mississippi State.
All right, if you're just joining us, let's take a look earlier what happened to R.J. Melendez. This was just after he reached for his right ankle, could not even put much weight on it. And now he is back on the floor. As Mississippi State down by 2, just under 10 minutes to play in this first half. High ball screen for Sears, getting all the attention. Poked out of bounds off Matthews, as Nelson says, look at that arm, that's got to be fat.
Well, you know, this is a high-level game. Top 15 matchup. It's going to be a lot of physicality, and it's to be expected. We get another look at it. I do agree with Brent Nelson.
Great.
A lot of body on that swipe down.
Nelson from the corner, his 3 too strong. With the backside rebound goes to Youngblood. Reed, lane opening up, challenge, and he still finishes through contact.
Amazing strength by Darion Reed. Elevating, taking the bump, and the concentration to finish. Outstanding.
Alabama is now 10 deep with Darion Reed healthy. This is a loaded Alabama team. Hubbard with the pump fake. Comes to a stop in traffic. 6 on the shot clock. Hubbard, a deep 3. He is not shy.
No, and as he should be. This is a guy who's been a prolific scorer his entire basketball career. You have to continue to be who you are and play with aggression.
Hubbard calling for it in transition with Mississippi State numbers. I mean, this is everything. Ooh.
Offensive rebound by Chris Youngblood. Look at him taking flight, taping on the hoop throughout the verticality by Matthews. Finishing. That's an elite level finish, and it's a promising sign for Alabama with Reed, who's been hampered with some injuries, to see him make an athletic move of that sort.
Sears trying to get by Kugel. And Kugel will be called for the bump. That is his first personal.
Veteran Mark Sears, as savvy as they come, knows how to get his point production in a large way that he's able to do that by softening up the defense by drawing fouls.
Sears ran with it before he even had the ball. And now they're going to call a jump ball. Look like a walk.
Swing coming to Sears in the corner. Did look to see he was moving with it, but Cam Matthews with his hands all over it from the very beginning. Ball back to Alabama.
Calling for the screen. He's got the switch now. What about another walk that Youngblood got away with? And it's Mississippi State trying to push now. This is Melendez going one-on-one. The nice little scoop shot to get by the D. Beautiful move. Going end-to-end, shifting, and laying it up with the right hand before the shot blocker was able to get there. Sears in close and a nice assist as he finds Nelson for 2 more.
Mark Sears is doing a tremendous job of facilitating as the defense is trying to slow him down for his point production. Grant Nelson with a great finish.
Matthews. Hubbard sneaking free. Nice pump fake. D flies by. 3-ball. Nothing but nylon.
That was a great job right there by Josh Hubbard. He's missed his last few 3-pointers because he was rushed. He uses the pump fake and frees himself up.
Mark Sears has got that vision working tonight with Grant Nelson. They are on the same page.
That 2-man game has been elite so far from the opening tip.
And a reach-in foul is called. Every time it seems like Mississippi State wants to get the momentum, Alabama has had the answer.
Alabama has been able to answer, but here it is, Melendez with the end-to-end move. Beautiful job in this 2-man game between Mark Sears and Grant Nelson. Great action. Estimate your opponent, because anything can happen in the SEC.
All right, making sure the court is good to go. And I think we are ready to play again. Alabama with a 2-point lead, just over 7 minutes to go here in this first half.
This game has had a really good pace to it. Both teams efficient in their offenses.
Melendez off the inbound, off the backboard. Sears getting by Melendez. Pass to the corner for Stevenson, short. And the offensive rebound tracked down by Diabate. Sears pulls from deep. And Diabate, another offensive rebound. 3rd chance this possession for the Crimson Tide. Stevenson, kick out, Youngblood, count it. What a possession for Alabama.
This is how Alabama can get you. If they can't score in transition and execute in the half court, the offensive rebounding, they can do it at an elite level with their length.
9 second chance points for Alabama. Murphy has the size mismatch. Instead, they decide to go to Hubbard. Shot clock is at 5. And that's going to be a legal screen set by Cam Matthews.
That's a possession right there. If you're Mississippi State, you want that one back. Keyshawn Murphy at 6'10" has the advantage in the low post with Mark Sears guarding him. You take advantage of that as opposed to kicking it out. It results in the mismatch outside. And there's Cam Matthews not getting set. Very foul on drawing the foul.
As a former big man, whose fault is that? Is that the big man or is that the point guard not waiting for the screen?
If you're a guard, you have to do a good job of setting up the pick and roll by faking to the open side. When you're able to do that, it allows the big to shape up the screen and get set.
The foul is called. The crowd does not like it. And that's going to be against Matthews. So 2 quick fouls here, back to back.
That's huge for Mississippi State as Cam Matthews, who's had his struggles. There was a foul that was missed on the slip there as Matthews.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure about that.
That's a tough one. I tend to agree that's not a foul on Matthews. The foul that came earlier on the drive, but now the wrong player is going to have to take a seat on the bench. So let's take another look at that foul call.
That's where you think the first one should have been?
Maybe a little bit of a grab there by Michael Nwoko, but nothing there on the attempt by Cam Matthews on the contest. The ball slipped out of Chris Youngblood's hand. Unfortunate break there for the Bulldogs.
Well, ball don't lie.
It doesn't, and there it is. 2 missed free throws by Chris Youngblood after the missed call.
Hubbard getting by his man, but it is swatted as Diabate making up ground at 6'7".
And that's a guy who has outstanding defensive versatility. Depending on the matchup, he can guard 105. Here he is with the matchup against the guard, Josh Hubbard. Recovers with that outstanding length and the rejection.
On the inbound, Sears is going to be called for the reach-in. He thought he was hooked by Melendez. So for Sears, that'll be his first. He still has not scored tonight, but he has dished out 4 assists. So you look at what he did Saturday night against LSU, not playing that second half.
Well, Mark Sears has done a really good job tonight of facilitating, but I want to see him get back to who he is. You know, when you're a scorer, you have to continue to play the style of game that you play. There's things that you need to work on, obviously, to help the team, but his point production is big for Alabama.
Sears open, and he rattles in a deep one. There's his first bucket tonight.
He is staying aggressive. Mark Sears coming down in transition, shooting from beyond NBA range and knocking it down.
Mississippi State calling a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. We are staying here. We are not going to commercial break. It is Alabama up 35-27 in the middle of an 8-0 run.
Mark Sears, who hasn't been on his scoring as of late, pulls up from deep, knocking it down. Great sign for Alabama with your leading scorer getting into scoring act.
Does it feel like the weight is lifted off his shoulders after that 3-ball drop?
Absolutely. You know, players have a lot of pride in their performance. And when you are a player of his magnitude, with all of the preseason accolades, the expectations, playing for your home state school, you want to continue to play at a high level. He had a performance last game where his shooting was off. He wasn't able to shoot and wasn't able to score and contribute to the game in other ways. He's been able to do that tonight with some plays on the defensive end, his assists, and now the scoring seems to be back on track.
Cool. As Hubbard tried to go back, and now he reaches for his ankle. You hope he's okay. He tried to make a cut back to the pass that was behind him, and it looked like he slipped on the floor. All right, Richard, let's take another look at this one.
Just lost his footing, and he was flaring to the corner, trying to shape it up.
We have seen them work on the court a lot tonight with players slipping on this floor. As Humphrey Coliseum is completely silent right now as their star player is down on the floor.
This is a tough kid. And he's playing a really good basketball game. Has to get back into his rhythm and get his confidence going. He seems to be coming to his feet.
Here's another look, bottom left of your screen.
That's a tough one. It's one of those where your foot gets hung up a little bit on the hardwood. Not necessarily a roll, but it slips and gets caught again.
We've seen Melendez go down, who has now come back. We've seen Hubbard now being helped off the floor. As concern on the face of everyone here inside the hump.
The big concern is there's no weight being put on that leg. He's being helped off the court.
It is still an 8-0 run from Alabama. As they're looking to add to that one. Darren Philon will inbound.
These are the moments when you're Mississippi State. You're down a man, and you have to find some energy from somewhere. And it's next man up. You're going to have to make sure that you can use the energy and momentum of the building that has come out to try to create some energy as Alabama is on a surge.
Sears gets by his man, and it's poked out of bounds. 14 seconds on the shot clock for Alabama.
It seems as if Mark Sears, when he's penetrating, is penetrating more so to facilitate as opposed to looking for the layups at the cup.
Fylon, a little hand fighting, and he slipped on the floor, and he's out of bounds. How many slips have we seen tonight?
That's a tough one, as his foot actually was on the foot of Sean Jones. Sean Jones slides out of bounds, and then Fylon's foot is out of bounds after making impact.
Let's see who's going to step up. With Josh Hubbard out of the ball game. Cordell Harris Jr. back in the game with 2 fouls. Shot clock's at 5. Melendez picked up the dribble. Harris Jr. moving to his left, comes to a stop, pull up. How about that 3-ball?
And that's a poised move by Cordell Harris Jr. He has shot-making ability, understood where he was on the court with the shot clock going down, used that pump fake, and freed himself up.
Holloway open, missing. Sears gets the putback.
Alabama once again missed a wide-open shot, but it's the offensive rebounds that they've been able to capitalize on. 7 for Alabama so far.
Reaching and a steal for Diabate. Sears looking to run, 1-on-2, had it blocked, gets it back, and he'll be fouled.
It's the second chance points. Alabama with 11 in this game to Mississippi State's 4 has been a big difference maker for the tie.
So we will indeed take this break under 4 minutes. The foul called on Murphy. As we take another look, another offensive putback for Alabama.
Active on the O boards, Mark Sears getting into the fun with the easy putback.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let them know we on the way. Count.
It had a slip up, but now he's back to the action.
So he's back on the bench with the Bulldogs as he leads the way right now with 11 points. Alabama with a 7-point lead as Sears to the free throw line for the front end of a 1-and-1. And he misses.
Alabama with the struggles from the free throw line.
Jones Jr. His 3 off the mark, rebound to Fylon.
Fortunate for Alabama in the last possession as a blown coverage. Jones is not able to knock down the open 3.
Fylon, his scoop shot rolls off, tipping around at the rim. It's finally pulled down. Pick and roll action with Murphy. Going 1-on-2, and he splits the D for the deuce.
And a spirited split with that jump stop, creating separation, and an easy layup at the basket.
Holloway open, another one rimming out.
Alabama's had some clean looks in the last couple of possessions, just not able to capitalize.
Mississippi State looking to go back to Murphy, and a reach-in foul is called. And for Fylon, that'll be his second. Saturday, we got a quadruple header of men's basketball starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, but we are featuring the last game of the day with number 13, Texas A&M, taking on South Carolina. That's at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. And that eruption from the crowd, that is because Josh Hubbard is back on the floor for Mississippi State.
That's good news for the Bulldogs. Had a hot start early in the game. He'll have to see if he can get it going again after his short break. Has some jazzy shoes there.
That's one word for him.
Yeah.
That's your style. Come on.
No, I don't know if that's my style.
You couldn't rock those?
Listen, big guys don't need to wear shoes like that. You know,
So it's a size thing.
for sure. Those are guard shoes. Bigs need to wear basic colors. Black, white, and run to the post and rebound. It's not that type of style stuff. You don't have a game to match. Your shoes should always match your game.
Richard Hendricks, it is a new day in basketball. Big men are going outside now. We can wear whatever shoe they want.
I guess so.
Flashing middle. And Stevenson couldn't finish. Pick and roll. And Murphy brings Mississippi State within 2.
Well, the energy is back in the building for the Bulldogs. They've been able to take advantage of the miscues for Alabama and get back in this game.
And it's Murphy tying up Sears. A jump ball is called. Bulldogs with possession.
It's the rebound and getting off the running for Mississippi State. They've been able to find something with Keyshawn Murphy at 6'10", a mismatch on the roll when a smaller Alabama player comes over to help as a weak side defender.
Keyshawn Murphy has scored the last 5 for Mississippi State. There goes Hubbard, baseline, and we are all tied at 37.
Mississippi State has answered the bell since the exit of Josh Hubbard. It was a moment where you have to make something happen because of the make or break point in the ball game. The response has been made by the Bulldogs.
Hubbard a little too active, and he's called for the reach-in. The 7-0 run for the Bulldogs to get back into this game.
And they needed it at that time. This is a moment where Alabama can put teams away at the ends of half. You were up by 8 points. And they had an opportunity to continue to add to that. There were some miscues defensively by State. And Alabama had clean looks, not able to knock it down. But Mississippi State was able to take advantage of that and turn defense into offense and get this game tied up.
1-1 for Diabate. And a 68% free throw shooter makes the first.
That's an important make for Alabama. The timeout was called. Mark Sears missed the front end of that 1-1. And the energy and rhythm for Alabama came to a stop. And for the last 1 minute and 46 seconds, it's going to be important to string together some quality possessions for both teams moving into the half.
1 of 2. Nelson trying to bat it around. And that's Mississippi State ball. What has been working offensively for the Bulldogs? It seems like they're in a flow.
Well, when they were able to get out to run, I think it's all because of when they're able to utilize Keyshawn Murphy. At 6'10", Alabama is electing to put a bigger defender on Josh Hubbard. As you see, Mo Diabate at 6'7" is guarding him now. That creates mismatch situations for Murphy on switch opportunities, and they've been able to take advantage of that.
Hubbard keeping his dribble alive. Warren inside, and the two-handed slam for Jones Jr.
Excellent job. The creativity and getting into the paint. Jones, great vertical jump on the finish.
Alabama in a drought right now. Youngblood ends that. That's the first field goal for the Crimson Tide in almost 3 minutes.
And that's the veteran leadership right there, Chris Youngblood. You can see the poise in his face as he caught that ball with a lot of confidence, lined it up and stroked it.
Youngblood with 12 points to lead the way for Alabama. Has under a minute to play in this first half.
Watching these situations, the help side defender is going to be a guard coming over on Keyshawn Murphy, and that's the difference.
Murphy trying to go one-on-one, gets to his hook shot, and that was good D by Nelson.
Alabama should hold it here for the last shot. in the end of the half.
Nate Oates says, let's talk this over. Timeout, Alabama, with 16.2 seconds to play in this first half. They are just trading buckets these last few minutes here.
Yeah, they have. It's been excellent ball play as the creativity getting into the paint and dropping it off. Unselfish play. Sean Jones finishing it. But this is a confident shot right here. The senior, former conference player of the year, catching that, knowing when Alabama needs a bucket, and with the composure to knock that one down to give Bama the lead and the ball for the last shot of the half.
There was also that moment on that tie-up a few minutes ago where there was some confusion, and it was Youngblood who gathered his guys, and you talked about that senior leadership getting Alabama to stay composed, and here they are with a 2-point lead. They can get the final shot in this first half.
Well, this is a Tuscaloosa native who started his career Kennesaw State, South Florida, and has continued to grow in his career. Now he's back playing for his hometown team, and that type of attitude and pride is starting to show.
Pick and roll with Nelson rolling to the rim, and one.
Now that is tough right there. And it's Mark Sears recognizing that on the pocket pass. But when you have to respect the shooters, look at the shooters spaced out in the corner and the lane is wide open. You have to respect him, giving Grant Nelson the opportunity to go right down the middle of the lane and lay that ball up. And that's the X's and O's that Nate Oates is dialing up coming out of that break. You get your shooter spaced out. Youngblood's hit one in the corner. You have another shooter spaced out on the other side. And you get that paint wide open as they trap Sears, and he's able to make the proper decision. Nelson with the easy and one opportunity.
He now has 9 points in the first half for Alabama, as Reed will come back in and replace Nelson for defense. 5.2 seconds here in this first half remaining.
Alabama showing some extended defense. A good decision to not let Mississippi State get downhill.
Here goes Hubbard. Let's see what he can do. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, pushes off, rising up. And short on the rim, as it's Alabama with a 5-point lead at the half. We talked about Mark Sears, did not score in his last game Saturday. 5 points, but even bigger, he's got those 5 assists.
It has. His impact has been felt with what he's been able to do by creating for others in the game. And it has Alabama with a 5-point lead going into the half.
We got a goodie here in Starkville. We are at the half, 5-point lead. Let's go to the studio. This place up, it is a blackout inside. Up. My first time here, I have thoroughly enjoyed myself.
And they have a great atmosphere here. It's pumped up. It's a top 15 ball game here. And it's been a lot of fun so far. Up and down pace for both of these two teams. It's been entertaining.
You know you were in the South when they let you cut the line at the men's room at the half, and they said, gentlemen, you're on TV, you can go ahead. Thank you, Starkville. I need to come back.
Southern hospitality.
Oh, you know it. We start this second half. It is Alabama with the ball. Nelson inside. He had a strong first half, and he gets the scoring started in the second. He now has 11.
And you see the adjustment that was made. The low man was there for the roller on Nelson, but that was just a great individual effort by Nelson to read the situation and find his way to the basket.
Waddell Harris Jr. looks over at the ref, thought he got popped in the face, but he hits the 3.
Big shot making ability by Harris Jr.
And a deflection to steal. Cam Matthews. Oh, he doesn't get the roll in, but he does get the foul.
This right here was tremendous effort by Chris Youngblood. Recognizing the turnover made. Cam Matthews getting out in the break, which looked like could be an easy 2 points, but it's this type of hustle that he's able to make that will send Matthews to the free throw line and have to earn it.
We talked in that first half about Cam Matthews as he's been struggling scoring the ball over his last 4 games. But Chris Strands had a discussion with him. He said, let's figure out other ways to get you involved. And he said a lot of the reason why he's been struggling is because the ball has been in his hands a lot. So he's doing a lot of stuff coming off the ball, setting screens, trying to do offensive putbacks, anything he needs to do to make an impact.
It's a talented player, but you see he can overthinking it. Just after the missed free throw, the pace down up under to go up under and think about it, it might have allowed him to reset. But he can do so many things for Mississippi State as an X factor, creating for others, rebounding, the hustle points, rim protecting as a weak side defender. He will have to play big in the second half.
Nelson finds that three-point line off the mark. Amori with the backside board, and it's stripped away by Harris Jr. There goes Hubbard. He's got liftoff, too strong, and Sears with the board. He gets so much height on that jumper.
He does.
Sears has been the facilitator here tonight for Alabama. Inside, a lot of contact. Stevenson has it taken away.
And if you're Jaron Stevenson, use your length and extension to reach up to the high point and throw your jump hook over the top.
Harris Jr. with some space. Matthews tried to tip it around, but Sears with another board.
Quality box outs are important in this game with the bodies that are crashing on both ends.
And there's a steal. Mississippi State with a 2-on-1. Now it's Melendez, 3-ball. Bulldogs getting some stops and getting good looks. They're still down 3. Melendez in too tight, called for the foul. That'll be his second.
Sears a little too loose with it coming down in transition. Akinwokwo gets his body in the way, comes up with the steal.
How many other conferences around the country would that be a foul? Because in the SEC, they let them play. It is a physical game night after night.
Well, you have to let good players play. That's what they have in this league. The physicality of allowing that to go a long way. When games get tighter and play moves further in the season, you're going to have to play through contact.
There's the whistle as Amori will get a trip to the free throw line.
That's the second time Clifford Amori has made a really good read out of the mid-post, putting it on the deck, trying to get all the way to the basket. He was able to finish with the layup early in the game. This time, he draws the foul and goes to the free throw line.
We have a sensational women's basketball quadruple header Sunday night on the SEC Network featuring 5 top 15 teams. Starts at noon Eastern with number 2 South Carolina hosting Auburn. Then 7th ranked LSU hosts Mississippi State. 12th ranked Kentucky taking on 13th ranked Oklahoma. And we finish it off with 5th ranked Texas taking on Texas A&M.
That's a big time lineup. Quality games all day long. Make sure to tune in to action on the women's side.
Melendez with Youngblood holding his ground, and Amori with the block. 15 seconds on the shot clock for Mississippi State.
Good connection right there by Clifford Amori as Chris Youngblood is holding his ground there and allowing the help side defender Amori to rotate over. The only thing as a shot blocker, you want to make sure you keep those balls in play and see if you can not throw it out of bounds to allow your team to recover it and get out on the break and turn it into some transition offense.
Goes Hubbard. Gets by the D and lays it in. And Hubbard's now up to 15 to lead the way for the Bulldogs.
Phenomenal move there by Josh Hubbard. That little hesitation that he had when you think he's going to rise up for the three-pointer allows him to turn the corner and get all the way to the rim.
Step back three. Aiden Holloway. Don't do him like that.
That is ice cold. Wow. The snatch back to the tray ball, phenomenal.
Hubbard with his runner, and he will be bumped and go to the line.
I'm telling you, this is a major league move right here. You have an elite defender on you in Cam Matthews, and Aiden Holloway Holloway is able to create the separation with the snatch back, line it up, and knock down the tray ball. Tremendous move there by Aiden Holloway.
This is a young man who enjoys coming off the bench, and you have to have a special mentality to accept your role and then still flourish, because he's essentially playing starting minutes.
Well, one thing that I've noticed around the SEC for most of the teams, when you're on elite level teams, you have to embrace your role. It's not a situation of starters and bench players and you're coming in to give someone a spiel. You work your minutes when you get into the game. And Aiden Holloway has done a tremendous job all season long of accepting that when he comes into the game, it's important to make the point differential go in a positive direction. And he does that with his point production.
Holloway and Sears working on the floor at the same time. Scramble and a steal for Kugel. One-on-one is bumped. And good hustle by Amori to get it back for Alabama.
Kugel just have to turn on the jets, go all the way to the basket. Don't look back for the defender.
Sears leaned in, gets the three as he looks to the ref.
A lot of contact on that one. Able to knock it down.
Melendez from the corner. Can't answer with a three. Backside board. Murphy. And he'll be fouled.
Physicality of Keyshawn Murphy doing an outstanding job getting on the whole boards.
Second personal on Clifford Amori. As it is big boy basketball on the inside here tonight.
Absolutely. Getting physical, but it's Mark Sears getting freed up in transition. He loves shooting these shots, and here he is taking on a little contact with the leaner for three.
You need to be a leader. You need to play harder, and scoring isn't the only thing. And we saw Sears with a ton of assists early in this game tonight.
Well, Mark Sears has done a really good job of the response. And Nato said he had 2 really good practices in the week leading up to this game. And that's the type of effort that you want to see from your leader. They understand. There's a lot to play in this season. You're playing for a lot with this team, trying to get back to the Final Four. And Mark Sears is going to play a large role in that. And it's not only what he's going to do from a playmaking position. His point production is still very important for Alabama.
How much credit should Nate Oates get? Because how many coaches in the country would have the guts to sit their best player for an entire half to prove a point and send a message?
And a tremendous amount of respect for that. I mean, in a day of now where you have a lot of player movement, as Aiden Holloway lines up another one from downtown. It's refreshing to see at times some coaches who are able to do some things in the old school way. And it's also important for players to understand that when you're on a team, it's always important to have the attitude about winning and to support everyone on the roster. Moving forward in professional careers, you're going to have star-studded lineups. And there's going to be nights where you don't play a lot of minutes. And it's important that you maintain the composure and the ultimate team spirit, because it's only going to be beneficial for you and for the rest of the squad.
Largest lead of the game right now for Alabama, with the shot clock winding down at 4. Reed had his shot blocked. Good D by the Bulldogs. Inside, Murphy rocks the rim.
This screen roll action has been effective for both teams, and particularly for Mississippi State. When they get Keyshawn Murphy in it, you have a smaller weak side defender rotating over, and at 6'10", it's easy for him to finish over the top.
Reed stuck in the corner, will throw it off the defender. Take another look at that Keyshawn Murphy jam.
It's coming down in that drag string, a slip by Murphy. Mark Sears late to roll over because he has to respect the shooter. He's able to get an easy slam at the rim.
There's been a lively crowd from the opening tip. I want to encourage a couple stops here on this end. Nelson had it stripped by Matthews. Shot clock's at 3. Sears, does he recognize? Gets it up in time and beats the buzzer.
It's a big shot by Mark Sears. The poise, trapped in the corner with not a lot of room, but able to rely on the mid-range J.
Far out, they pushed Hubbard there.
Physical at the point of attack on that ball screen.
But it doesn't matter as Hubbard rises up for the 3.
And he elevates so quickly. When he gets his feet set, the vertical's got to be at least 35 inches.
And Sears found a way to sliver through the D and get the foul.
This was a big bucket for Alabama as Mark Sears, recognizing the shot clock going down, knocks down that mid-range J with the contest. With one of the better ones to do it. Josh Hubbard, look at that elevation on that deep tray ball. Cash money.
20 points for Hubbard tonight. His 4th 3. Sears hits the free throw. Another strong game for Josh Hubbard, the sophomore. His 7th 20-point game already this season. Alabama's been trying to blitz the ball, try to get it out of the hands of Hubbard.
Again, going into screen roll action, utilizing Keyshawn Murphy.
Matthews going 1-on-2, kick out. Murphy decides to put it on the deck. And how about the Euro from the big man?
That was nasty. Wow. Catches it on the three-point line, allows the closeout, puts it on the deck, and nimble.
Backside, watch out, had it poked away. That was Murphy. Mississippi State, they got numbers. Hubbard, catch and shoot, battles.
Josh Hubbard once again with the response.
And here's the steal by Kugel. 2-on-2. Murphy, watch out.
This has been a
It's Alabama silencing the crowd.
This has been a game of runs and responses.
Murphy, he's got the mismatch on Sears, but he lost the handle. Was it poked away? No, turnover. Yeah, this has been a fun sequence.
Yes, it has. And Keyshawn Murphy has been imposing his will as we take a peek at Josh Hubbard there in transition, rising up. It's the unselfish play and the freed up action there by Murphy with the hammer.
Sears trapped in the corner, and he's forced to call a timeout. They are turning out the lights. It is something special in Starkville. Come on back.
Big Blue Nation will be happy to see Mark Pope and his team handle business as they've been playing really good basketball. A big win that they had last night on Rocky Top. So it's poised for a really good homecoming show for John Calipari in Kentucky.
Coming out of the timeout, let's see what Alabama drew up. 10 on the shot clock. Youngblood, he gets the ISO. Using that size. Sears, 3 seconds, pick and roll, pocket pass. Amori rising up, and an offensive rebound. Good work underneath for Mohamed Diabate as he gets to the free throw line. We are in another break zone, so we will step aside as Alabama has a 3-point lead.
But this is always a tough environment to play in, and the energy's been in the building here in Humphrey Coliseum. It's been electric, and we got a good one.
I cannot wait to see this finish. Night after night, we get some goodies in the SEC. Diabate doing the dirty work underneath, gets to the free throw line as he makes the first.
That's exactly what Diabate does. He's an X factor for Alabama. He's one of the guys on the team that you don't have to draw anything up for him to be impactful. And he is, once again, getting the offensive rebound and getting to the free throw line at an important time for Alabama.
Feels like to be an elite team, you got to have a guy like Diabate who just consistently hustles and does whatever you need him to.
You have to have reserve players to star in their roles. Oftentimes, a lot of players feel as if they have to be a starter and get plays drawn up for them to be effective. But you have to have some players who embrace the situation of making the team better. Diabate does that for Alabama.
And he's chasing down Hubbard, who rises up and makes the three in his face.
Well, there's some star power right there from Josh Hubbard. And he has definitely been putting on a show. The three-point barrage.
6 straight field goals for Mississippi State. And it's a 2-point ball game. Diabate gets his own miss. Stripped. Bulldogs with the ball. Hubbard catch and shoot. Long rebound to Amori.
That's the heat check.
Dribbling by Holloway. Sears turning the corner, gets to his strong hand off the mark. And look who it is again. Diabate with the board and gets the timeout for Alabama. He has got some kind of motor.
Well, that's a hustle play, but I tell you one thing, I don't know if that's necessarily a timeout that you want to utilize from the player. A 64-62 game, you call a timeout there and take one away from the power of NATO's down the clutch.
Let's take a look at the point guards. 2 who can fill it up, and Hubbard has been feeling it. You talked about that last shot was a heat check.
It was, and he's definitely come out on a tear. He was motivated. We talked to him earlier today. You saw him in shoot around, getting up shots, and he knew this is a big game. He's come out bringing his A game with the point production. Hubbard on tough defense creates the separation and knocks down that long two-pointer.
You know, Chris Jans said about Hubbard, he said, even late in the game in their last win on Saturday against South Carolina, he made some key defensive stops on the floor, and he's learning and elevating his game that he doesn't have to just score and shoot the three.
Yeah, it's a point of emphasis. You know, this is a player who can score as a high-usage, high-volume jump shooter. But as he continues to grow his game, he'll find other ways to take advantage of more efficient and a better quality of shot to get his point production. He's been able to do it tonight with a large volume. But as he continues to grow as a player, he can still make those same shots when he picks and chooses the proper one to take.
This is Youngblood from the corner. Cougar with a strong board to snatch it out of the air. Oh, they're going to. Ooh, Hubbard crossover in the lane. Runner plus the foul. Josh Hubbard is heating up.
Mississippi State is on a massive run. All because of the outstanding work of Josh Hubbard. And this is taking the selection, not taking that step back J and using his crossover dribble to get a higher percentage shot with the floater over the top, and he gets fouled to go to the free throw line. That's the progression of the game for Josh Hubbard that I speak of. And many other times he would have relied on shooting that three-point shot contested on the step back. But he uses his poise, his patience to crossover dribble and gets much closer to the basket to see one go through the rim at a higher clip and efficiency.
A new season high for Josh Hubbard. He's got 28. Launch pass, Sears from the wing. That's good offense. It was Youngblood with the assist.
And you see the pat on the back from Nate Oates to Mark Sears, and he knocks that down as he knows that's the leadership he's looking for from his star senior guard.
Hubbard keeps that pivot down. Here's Hubbard using the screen. Shot clock at 5. D in his face, and it doesn't matter. Josh Hubbard.
My goodness. I tell you, the basket is looking as big as an ocean right now to Josh Hubbard.
Youngblood trapped corner. It's going to stay with Alabama.
Hubbard setting screens, constantly moving, sets that up with great pace. That is outstanding patience and recognition. Mark Sears with a huge response. And look, Nate Oates loving it with the encouragement.
Nelson bumped, keeps his dribble alive, 8 on the shot clock. Sears is trying to work his way to the ball, but Hubbard is guarding it close. Nelson will fire.
You know, as expected in the second half, Chris Jans and Mississippi State have tightened up the defense. They have made the adjustments. They've done a really good job of pressuring Alabama and being in the gaps.
Pull up, Jay rattled in for Harris Jr. And it's Mississippi State up 3.
And when it plays good defense, it's all connected. It translates over to quality offense in the half-court set.
Pick and roll. Nelson will find Youngblood. And we are all tied at 70.
Well, there you go. You see the adjustment that's made. The pick and roll action that Alabama capitalized on a lot in the first half. The rotation is there. But Grant Nelson did an outstanding job of recognizing to catch that ball on 2 feet and then notice where the shooter was. You see the screen roll action, screen, re-screen, and Nelson is involved in this two-man game. The rotation comes over from Kugel. He spots Youngblood in the corner, and he knocks it down. That's high-level basketball. This is the chess match between these two coaches, a defensive-minded coach in Jans, an offensive-minded coach in Oates, and you're seeing it at a high level right now.
Hey Youngblood has a new season high. He's got 15 on the night. Sears tripped.
Mississippi State's been extremely efficient, and no more efficient right there than that slam from Michael Nwokwo. Got a ball game in Starkville.
If you're just joining us, buckle up, because with 7.5 to play, let's get you caught up. Mississippi State is on a tear, hitting 10 of their last 11 from the floor. Josh Hubbard has a new season high with 31. And Mark Sears in a bounce-back game did not score against LSU on Saturday. He's got 15.
Alabama's going to have to shore some things up on the defensive end, but these after-timeout situations have been a great time for Alabama to capitalize.
Youngblood so strong with the ball. And they're going to say no basket, offensive foul.
Maybe used his shoulder and extended the arm to get a push off to create some space.
Oh, yeah.
Good call by this officiating crew. Youngblood with the extension and the stiff arm.
Pat Adams, Courtney Green, Byron Jarrett. An incredible officiating crew here tonight in Starkville, Mississippi. Hubbard leans in, had it blocked. Sears looking to push it. things Chris Jan said, he wanted to stop the transition points. In this second half, they've made Alabama work in the half-court set. But Sears making it look easy as Amori goes and get it.
That's good recognition. Alabama does a good job of finding action in those two-man games, but Sears gets a piece of the paint, and you got the rim finishing big and Amori up top.
Hubbard's getting all the attention, so Murphy slips to the bucket for 2 more as the Bulldogs retake the lead.
Keyshawn Murphy, the Birmingham native, has done a really good job of recognizing and making good plays in the mid-post.
Sears to his offhand. Youngblood, a deep one. He is feeling it tonight.
And he's hitting them all in the money time when you need them most. It's the big shots that Chris Youngblood has stepped up to calm things down for Alabama when State is on a surge.
He says, let's get the clear out. Give it to our guy who's going to make it happen, Josh Hubbard. He's got 33.
And this guy, Josh Hubbard, is a one-man surge. He's been on a tear tonight.
One-point lead for Mississippi State with the blackout here in the hump. Sears, he's been a distributor here tonight.
He's done a good job of recognizing as the defense converges over. He throws that up top to Amori for the alley-oop. Really good job of finding the shooters sprayed out on the perimeter, and Chris Youngblood once again bottoms from the outside.
For Youngblood, you got to say this is his breakout game in an Alabama uniform. A season-high 18 points, and he is looking like the player he was at South Florida.
Well, he's had a lot of poise in which he's played. And this is a game where there's a lot of big runs, particularly because of Josh Hubbard and what he's been able to do for Mississippi State. Been dynamic all night long. Got the Bulldogs going right from the opening tip. He's been continuing in the second half.
Take a look at the night for the sophomore, Josh Hubbard. 33 points. One shy of his career high. And we got over 5.5 to play in this ballgame.
This game is going to come down to which player is going to make the big plays in the money time. It's going to come down to the clutch when the defense gets tight. The adjustments have been made, and who can make tough shots in tough moments.
Nelson had it tipped, almost went in off Mississippi State, and cleaning it up is Diabate.
Diabate once again on the O boards. Nelson tried to throw the alley-oop. It was tipped, almost went in, and Mo Diabate cleaned it up.
Back and forth we go. Crimson Tide retaking the lead, and a foul. Saturday, we got a quadruple header of men's basketball starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. We feature the last game of the day. It's number 13, Texas A&M, taking on South Carolina. It goes down at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. Foul called on Diabate, his third. Ooh, nasty screen. Hubbard freed by it. And it's Jones Jr. tracking down the long miss.
That's what Jr. does. Jones Jr. does a really good job making those energy plays and another hustle one when they need it.
Matthews, he's got the clear out. Decides to get it back to Hubbard. Shot clock's at 4. You know it's going up. And another offensive rebound. Third chance. Here's Jones Jr. Fourth opportunity now. Nwoko, and he is fouled.
A lot of ball on that last contest by Grant Nelson. But you're rewarded when you play with that level of energy that Mississippi State had on the last possession. Multiple offensive rebounds. You finally get an opportunity to put it back in. Nwoko. A lot of ball on that.
So there was a substitution by Alabama as Diabate went to the bench, but he's not allowed to make the substitution until after the first free throw. So you have to come back onto the floor. So Michael Nwoka will go to the line. A 59% free throw shooter. It's one way.
Edged it in there.
Chris Jam said the key for Nwoka is that he's been getting nastier and nastier. So he is ready for the physicality of SEC play.
He's got some nasty dunks tonight. He gets in the paint. He finishes with authority.
1 of 2. We stay tied at 77. Mississippi State 9 of 15 on the night from the line. Alabama 8 for 13. Youngblood just stays hot.
And he was locked and loaded. On the wing, knees bent, ready. Ball is delivered on time, on target in the shooting pocket. Youngblood does the rest.
He's got 21, first 20-point game of the season for him. Hubbard with the left, plus the foul. A new career high for Josh Hubbard. He just can't be stopped.
Josh Hubbard going to work, finishing in traffic over the shot blocker. It's that hesitation, creates a little bit of separation, and the extension over the top of the shot blocker, and one opportunity.
Long, a new career high. He's got 35, and he's got a free throw upcoming.
Well, it's easier said than done. And to do it as one player, it's not a task that you can do. You're going to have to throw multiple bodies on him. He gets the ball into pick and roll sets. With his size, you might have to consider trapping and hard hedging to get it out of his hand and allow someone else to beat you and be a playmaker.
We are tied once again at 80 apiece. Nelson finds his guard in Holloway. Turns the corner. Youngblood sneaking open. Who are you going to here?
Going to Josh Hubbard.
Harris Jr. No time on the shot clock at 13. As Hubbard is being guarded by Sears. Now he makes his move. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Murphy got to get it up. The 3-ball. Nelson with a rebound.
There's the stop for Alabama that they needed. Really good defensive possession.
A jump ball as Mississippi State getting a hand in there. And it's Bulldogs basketball.
Good job by Mississippi State showing bodies in the gap. And you know Mark Sears is going to try to go strong to the left into the middle of the paint. This possession arrow will be important in the last few minutes of this game. With the game with so much physicality, it might come into play.
Youngblood is now guarding. Youngblood is now guarding Hubbard. Tipped away. It's Alabama with a steal. Nelson, they're giving it to him. He says, thank you very much. Alabama up 3.
I understand that's a scouting report situation, and they're allowing Grant Nelson, but at this point in the game, you can't allow any player to just tee one up. Cam Matthews has to do a much better job of at least giving him a late contest. Grant Nelson makes him pay.
Hubbard curling off the screen. He's got the switch guarded by Amori, rising up over Nelson. How good is Josh Hubbard?
And that's beautiful basketball. Recognizing that he needed to stop and pop with the soft touch. Phenomenal work.
He's got 38. Cross-court pass, and Sears threw it away. Turnover. Alabama
trying to find a quality look, probing all around. Able to find Grant Nelson Nelson wide open. No contest from Cam Matthews, allowing him to get that look. But the switch that Hubbard has stops right in front of the shot blocker.
So the officials are going to the monitor to see if that ball was deflected out of bounds. As it stands on the floor, it was called a turnover. But let's take another look and see if Mississippi State touched it. You see anything?
I don't see anything. I think this is going to be Mississippi State's ball. A turnover by Mark Sears. The big moment of the ball game.
So Pat Adams takes the headset off.
The call on the floor is confirmed. It's Black basketball. The clock is going to be reset to 1:52.
Listen, under 2 minutes to go in the game. It's still a really good strategy by head coach Nate Oates to ask for the review. He only knows he has one timeout in his pocket, and you have to take advantage of these moments to try to reset things with your team. It's a little bit of gamesmanship. You know if the ball went off or not, and you see it, but you got to manipulate the rules to get an opportunity to reset things with your team going down the stretch.
How do you stop Josh Hubbard? That's the question for Alabama, because you know he's going to get it up here. 1 point lead for the Crimson Tide. There goes Kugel. Almost lost his footing. 12 seconds on the shot clock as Alabama wanted to travel.
And I think Riley Kugel got away with the travel as the chair was slipped out under him, lost his balance, but a big baseline out of bounds opportunity for Mississippi State.
Hubbard, the inbounder. That's a dangerous man. You got to keep an eye on him. Turns the corner. His runner in the lane, off the mark, and Murphy Stein for the board, and it's taken away by Amori.
50-50 balls down the stretch of the game. So important. Alabama with the advantage on that last possession.
Sears directing traffic now. He's telling Youngblood and Diabate to switch sides. Shot clock's at 5. Pull up, jumper, mid-range, and Sears stares at the crowd. Alabama's up 3, under a minute to play.
There's the response, but Hubbard is barreling right back down on you.
Murphy pick and roll. His runner goes. The assist goes to Hubbard.
Keyshawn Murphy and Josh Hubbard in that two-man game all night long, particularly in the second half. Murphy with the clutch basket over the top with the soft touch.
18 points for Keyshawn Murphy. He's known as the guy who's got that soft touch from the mid-range, and at 6'10", he's got the lead down to 1.
Well, that was the basket for the game right there if you're Mississippi State. You have to convert on that possession to keep this game in balance. If you're Alabama, you're saying one stop for the win. And Keyshawn Murphy and Josh Hubbard were able to dial one up to get an important basket to make this a one-point game.
I mean, look at how much attention Hubbard gets. Rightfully so. The man's got 38 points tonight, but he made the smart play and found his partner Murphy.
Absolutely. That's the progression that we speak of, that he's making of a player. You got 38 points in a game where you've been feeling it. A lot of players don't want to make the recognition of giving up the ball in the money time when your team's down 3. You can normally find yourself forcing the issue, but the trust that Josh Hubbard has in his teammates to create for others in the clutch shows the maturity in his game.
It is time now to check out the Good Hands plays of the day, brought to you by Allstate, and we feature nothing but Josh Hubbard.
As it should be when you got 38 big ones, and it all starts with his outside shooting early on in the game. He was able to catch fire and get a rhythm because what he was able to do to get the defense to get on him from the outside. It opened up driving lanes for him to get into the paint and finish, and he's been huge in the money.
1 point lead for Alabama on the road. There's no such thing as an easy win in the SEC this season. As Hubbard, we take a look at his line, a career high 38 points.
Alabama entering the court first, and they're going to anticipate a little bit of pressure from Mississippi State full court.
Everybody rising to their feet as Youngblood will inbound. Mississippi State with a full court press. Alabama spreading the floor here, running clock, under 40 seconds to play.
I look for Sears to try to create something getting downhill.
Here comes Nelson, sets that screen, shot clock's at 5, pick and roll, and Nelson, he'll be fouled.
Been extremely impressed with two high-level guards who are volume shooters and big-time scorers of making the right basketball play in the big moments. The defense converges on Mark Sears. He drops off the pocket pass, puts it in the hands of Brett Nelson.
Two shots coming up for Nelson. And he misses the first. So some defensive changes coming on the floor for Alabama as their lineup goes taller, with Stevenson and Amori coming back in, replacing Youngblood and Holloway.
Amori there on the offensive rebounding opportunity and the free throw.
And he misses both, but the offensive board to Diabate, and he is fouled. How many times has Diabate bailed out Alabama tonight?
And the substitutions that Nate Oates made to put some rebounders in the game, switching defense for offense, Mo Diabate, once again with a clutch play, an offensive rebound, but back to the free throw line for Alabama.
17th offensive rebound for Alabama tonight. Comes the biggest moment in the ball game with 22.6 remaining, as Diabate, a 68% free throw shooter at the line. And it rims out. Here we go. 1-point lead for Alabama. Two players tangled behind the play. Murphy misses at the rim. And Youngblood will be fouled, as it looked like Mississippi State would get the lead.
Unbelievable. Keyshawn Murphy has been clutch all night long in that screen roll action, and he maybe gets the easiest look at the basket, and somehow, some way, the ball just doesn't find the bottom of the rim. Good recognition by Hubbard, and maybe it's the contest by Amori, but that's one when you have to dunk that and finish it off. This is the point for the game.
But it's still going to be a one-possession game, even if Youngblood hits both of these.
Alabama back to the free throw line,
where Youngblood is 0 for 2 tonight. And he makes the first. Mississippi State does have one timeout remaining. Coach Jans is not happy about something. I think he wanted a lane violation against Alabama. He didn't want that shot to count. We play on as Youngblood makes them both a 3-point lead.
Now, if you're Alabama, do you foul and not allow Mississippi State to tie this game up?
And it's off Mississippi State. Bama ball.
Wow, the defensive pressure. Mo Diabate once again in the action as Mississippi State tries to go to the dribble handoff to Josh Hubbard. And look at Diabate fighting his way through. creates the turnover for Alabama.
Chris Jans came out practically to half court. He is hot right now, not happy. Alabama looking to inbound, and a foul called. That's going to go on Matthews, and that's going to be his 5th. What a wild sequence here in Starkville.
It's been a back and forth game all night long. And you get down to the clutch. Who's going to make the plays? And once again, for Alabama, it's not your stars who do it. It's the role players who star in those roles. Mo Diabate, big offensive rebounds. Chris Youngblood going to the free throw line with clutch free throws and creating turnovers.
So because Matthews fouled out, Chris Jans is going to use this essentially as a timeout for Mississippi State with 5.3 seconds remaining. And remember, with Nelson on the line, he missed his last 2 free throws. So this game is not over yet.
Possession arrow points to Alabama. Grant Nelson with an opportunity to redeem himself for the 2 missed free throws when they were up 1 to see if he can put the game away.
A 1-and-1 for Grant Nelson with the game on the line.
Good job by Chris Youngblood deciding to get in and get a rebounder. That's the leadership of the senior.
And he uses every part of the rim to give Alabama a 4-point lead. 15 points now for Grant Nelson. Alabama fans making the trip are loving the effort. One of 2, 4-point lead, 3 seconds to play. Harris Jr. a 3 straight on, and that's ball game. Alabama survives in Starkville, Mississippi with an 88-84 win.
This game lived up to its billing, a top 15 matchup. Mississippi State and Chris Jans has a really good basketball team that's improving. They gave Alabama all they wanted, but it's the Tide getting it done on the road in Starkville.